Assalamu alaikum, my dear students of class 9. Today I shall discuss chapter 11 MS Access 2010 Design View, Form, Query and Report. Now, as already I have discussed about MS Access 2010 on the last class, chapter 10. So it is actually an extension of that chapter with part called Design View, Form, Query and Report. In this chapter 11, we will be discussing about design view, how to form, how to create database using design view, how to create form, how to create a query and how to create a report of the databases. So let me open MS Access. As I have told you earlier also that in this computer Office 2016 installed, but MS Office 16 contains all the features of Access 2010, so no problem. So because already it has all features of Access 2010. So I am opening a blank database. Let me write the name as test1, naming it and create. So I'll be showing you that there is a tab is there, create. Using the tab create, we basically create the query, form and the report, as I have also discussed in my earlier class also. How do we also create macro module this. Now let me show you a design view. Let me show you the design view of a table. So I am opening the table in design view. Okay, I am naming the table. Okay, it is table 1. So this is the design view of MS Access. In this design view, this I am showing with the help of cursor. This part is known as field definition grid. The upper part is known as the field selector, and this part is known as the field property pane. So when you open a table in design view, basically a table in design view consists of two areas. One is field definition grid, it is this part, and another is the field properties pane, it is this part. You can see, if I take, for example, I am taking a field name as ID, then it's, you can see the data type is auto number because it is primary key, and then I am writing another name, NAME name field, and the data type, I am typing the data type as, okay, data type as say long text. So any property if you want to change of this field, we have to follow this field property pane. So while creating a table in design view, we have two parts, the field definition grid and the field property pane. Now what is field definition grid? This field definition grid is used for entering the field name, the data type, and also we can add some description. Say I can add a description here in this field. It contains students apostrophe s, students name. So we can add a description. So this we have the field name, the data type and the description, and the field property pane, this part, the field property pane is used to set more details such as field. We can add the field size, say for example, see here we can add the field size, then new values, format, caption, or if you go to this field, we can add the default value, we can add, you can see validation rule, validation text align, the format. So this is the property, the field property pane. As in this chapter we will be discussing about, basically our discussion will be based on the query, form and the report. Now as I have already discussed, I have given you a little bit introduction about the query. A query is basically deals with the question that we want from the data, or we can say a query is a request to perform an action on the data. Now what is form? The form presents the data in table or a query in the manner we want to be displayed. How we want to create the form, what should be displayed. So this we all design from the form. We can see here the query group is there, the form, and the report, basically the report is the printed result of data. Now the field definition grid, the field definition grid has a field selector. So field selector, we can click on any field selector to select the entire field. We can click on any field selector to select the entire field. Then we have the field name. You can see the field name is there. The field name, it contains the name of the field. We can write any name. Basically there are some rules. There are some rules for naming the field that I will be discussing. Then we have the data type. As we already discussed, these are all the data types. So what type of means this field, particular field data should be of what type? For example, see ID, we want the ID should be a number, auto number. So we have taken the auto number. For example, the name, we want the field name should consist of names. So it should be a text. Then we have the description column. The description column is not mandatory, it is optional. You can see here it is written here optional. If you want to have an additional information, if you want that it should contain additional information about the field name, so we can give the description. So it is not mandatory, we can give it. So that I am showing you that as I already have discussed about the data type, I have discussed in chapter 10. So I am again repeating that we have this, for example, we have the text which contains alphanumeric characters, and the size is the highest size. The size it contains is up to 255 characters. Then we have the long text, which is also called the memo. It consists of 63,999 characters. It could contain the highest storage. It can have 63,999 characters. Then the number, numeric, the numbers. It can have numbers, numeric value like 1, 2, 3, 4. It can have the storage sizes 1 byte, 2 byte, 4 byte, 8 bytes. Then we have the date and time. Data type, the data and data types. It consists, the maximum storage size is 8 bytes. Then we have the currency data type. The currency data type, the maximum size is 8 bytes. Then we have the auto number. The auto number data type, the maximum size is 4 byte. Then we have yes no. the yes no data type, because basically it result is either yes or no, so it consists of only one bit, either 0 means no and 1 means yes, so it contains only one bit. Then we have the OLE object. Basically the OLE object consists of pictures, can consist of pictures, graph, we can have also have sound or video files. So the maximum limit is up to 1 GB, 1 gigabyte. Then we have the hyperlink. The hyperlink consists of some links. Link address means it is a link, we can have a link of a website or any other file. So basically it can, the hyperlink can have 2048 characters. Then we have attachment. The attachment consists of pictures, Word file, Excel spreadsheet, sound and many other things. So there is no limitation of the size. Then calculated, it performs calculation on data, so it also doesn't have any storage size. And lookup wizard, it consists of data from another table or list of values, and its highest size is 4 byte. So let me show you. Let me show you. Let me start from, say, hyperlink. Let should be long text. Then I am making another field, say website, WEBSITE, website. Say I want to give the website, and the data type I want is at hyperlink. Hyperlink. Now when I open the table, so let me save it. So first ID, it will come because it is auto number, so the number don't give this. When we have this auto number, it is not required to give any values because the number will be coming automatically, so it will be starting from 1. Name, so name, I giving any name, say Raj. Then website. See here, we can also increase the size of this column if you just, let's see, I am giving an URL. This is known as URL. I am giving an URL of a website, say https colon, then double slash, not this slash, double slash, www dot, I am giving the URL of Google, google.com. So you can make this a little bit bigger. I have bigger. See, when you create a hyperlink, see, when I have placed my cursor here, so it is normal. When I place the cursor, it is like this. But whenever I place my cursor over a hyperlink, you can see it turns into a small hand. A finger is pointing up and it turns into a small hand. So this means it is having a hyperlink. It is having a hyperlink to a particular website. Here I have linked it to the Google. So this is how we can also create a hyperlink into an MS Access database. And the hyperlink consists what? The hyperlink consists of 3 parts. Basically here it is not linked to internet, so it is, you can see the message cannot locate the internet, it cannot locate. So basically the hyperlink consists of 3 parts. The text to display, number 1 is the text to display. What is the text to display? Then we have the address. This is the address, this HTTPS is the address, and another is the screen tip. The text to display is the text you see in the cell. So what text we are seeing in the cell? This is the text to display. Address means the destination, the location, the hyperlink, the URL. The destination you navigate means the URL, Uniform Resource Locator, to when we click the cell. And the screen tip consists the text we see when you hover. When you hover means when we go over this link, this means hover, when we hover over the link. And we can also see when we press Control, see when we press Control K, see I have pressed Control K. After pressing Control K, my this interface, has come. So this interface is known as edit hyperlink dialog box. So edit the hyperlink dialog box consists of what? You can see link to what? You can link to any file. Then we have, you can see here, text to display, then screen tip, then we have, you can see here the address. So when you click on screen tip, so what should be come in the screen? So link to Google. So I have added the screen tip. See what happened. So I have clicked here. So when we so this is the, when we, you can see when I have placed my cursor over this hyperlink, you can see here it is written link to Google. This is what I have added. You can see I am again showing Control K. When you go to screen tip, see I have added what? Link to Google. Now, so what happened when I place my cursor over this link? So you can see it is showing what? Link to Google. So this is the screen tip. Hope you understand. Now you see, now I am showing how can you set a primary key. So basically you can set, you can set, if you go over, so what is the rule for setting a primary key? So first you have to select the field. So if I open this table, so when I open this table, so whenever we select a field, so I have selected a field, select the field, and then when you give a right click, so basically let me open in the design view. So when we select a field, suppose I have selected a field and we give a right click, you can see the option comes what? Primary key. Or another way is there, select a field and then we will click on the design tab. Under design tab you can see under tool group, under tools group we have see here primary key. So when you click on primary key, so see now there is no primary key is there. So let me select, say I want to have this ID as the primary key. So I first selected the field, then I click on design tab. After clicking on design tab, under the tools group we will find primary key. So I have clicked on primary key. When you click on primary key, now my ID will become what? As a primary key. So this is the way how can you set the primary key. Or another way is there, when you select the field and right click, you can see it is showing option what? Primary key. So this is how we can add a primary key. Now we can add any field as a primary key. It is not required that already because by default the first field we make as a primary key, but we can make any field as the primary key. But the requirement is that primary key should be unique, and also it should not contain any null value. No empty value should be there. So let me show. Already I have created a database. So I am showing in that one student. So let me open the database. So let me open it a design view. You can see in my database I have made the student ID as the primary key. Then I have the field student name, total marks, percentage, and grade. And here my student ID is what? Auto number. Then student name is short text. Then total marks is number, and percentage is number, and grade I have given as a short text. Here you can see I have added a description, what marks in the last exam, because description optional. So I have added only in one field, I have added the description marks in the last field. Now I am showing how can you remove a primary key. So it is very easy. Same way, select the field, click on the design tab. Under design tab in the tools group you will find primary key. So just click on primary key. You see my primary key is, there is no primary key. So primary, we have removed the primary key. Now how to edit? Just select the removing and adding primary key are same way. So design tab, under tools group, primary key. So this is primary key. Now what is now I will be discussing about the field properties pane. In the field property pane, you can see for student ID, in the full property pane, you can see what is for student ID, what is there? Field size, new values, format, caption, index, text align. This means what? Field size is what? The field size is what should be the size of the field. Basically, if it is byte, it range should be up to 255. It is of integer, it range should be up to 32,767, like this long integer. It should be up to 2147483647 by default. So like this, what should be the field size? So here as I given, so long integer. So long integer means its size would be up to 2147483647. Say for example, when I have taken the number it is long integer. When I have taken the text, you can see short text, the field size is up to 255 characters. When I have taken the grade short text, so it will be same up to 250 characters. If I taken the name as the long text, you can see long text, you can see it will be increased. So let me take which is short text is the memo. Then the format. Next is the format. The format, this property, the format property specifies how the data appears when it is printed. Means how the data will appear when it is printed. So we can add any format. Then we have we can see, if I take it this number, we can see here it is written the number, or we can also have the number or currency values. Say for example, if I take this as the say number or currency, you can see when I add the number or currency, so you can see if I click here, it is okay, auto number. Let me add it as the number, okay, total marks is number. So we can see when we go to this format, see, you can see here when we click on the format under the field property pane, you can see there is, it is a general number is 3, 4, 5. That is also written in your book. Also you can find in your book page number 201. You can see there is the format is there, format, number and result. So this it is the currency. For general number it will be how much, for currency what is the range, for fixed number, and it is also added because there is an added feature is there is 16 euro, but it is not there in 2010. Then we have the standard, then the percent and scientific. So these are some properties. We can select any properties. Here in my table I have, in my database I have given the default one, but you can add, you can give any values. Now if we follow, see, if you add this as a date and say I have date and number. For date and number, when you go to date and number, when you go for date and number, if you go to input mask, you will tell that to save it fast. Okay, let me save it fast. You can see the format of date. See, long time, short time, medium time. It is there. We can also, if you don't want any of this format, we can try. So you can see it is there. We can give your own format. Okay, so let me cancel it. And we can also have the logical. Logical means yes, no. When you give the yes, no, logical format. If you go to format, we can see it is written either yes or no, or you can give true or false. And we can also have the decimal places also. If you want the decimal places, so we can also give the decimal for in the number. If you want how many, what should be the decimal places, if you go to calculator, so what should be the decimal places, you can set it. So let me remove this, let me place the number. Now I will be discussing about the input mask. So as you have seen, what is input mask? The input mask property allows us to control over the data entry by defining a set format for each character that is entered in the field, and it forces us to enter the field in the pattern. So let me show you how can you enter the input mask. So for adding an input mask, you can see here in the field property input mask is there. You can see here input mask. When you click on input mask, you can okay, let me save the table first. It will show that you show the first means you first save the table, save it now, then it is giving the input mask works only with the text or field. Okay, let me make with the text. Okay, in text and input mask. So I have, let me save it. You can see here. So first I have clicked on input mask property. Then what happened? The input mask, this is known as input mask wizard. The input mask wizard has come. Now you can select any of this type, and you can select any of this mask, and then click on, when you click on next, so it will be, see, it is showing a type. It is showing a type. And then it is showing, when you click next, it will go. Suppose I click next, then you can see it is showing without the symbol or with the symbol. How do you want? So we will just follow the instruction, and when you click next, and so if you want just, so it will show you the mask of that type. So I am not doing it. So I am showing again how to create input mask. So basically the input mask works only with the text. So this student name is of text. So here you can see in the field property pane, the input mask is there. So I'll just click here. So it is first, it will show that it will show me a message that must save the table first. So we'll click on save. Then my input mask wizard will come. Then we can take any of this input marks, or we can also try, see, you can try ourselves also. We can also give any input mask we want. We can give our one also, user defined. It is like user defined. So if I take any input marks, say I have taken it, then I click on next option, then it will be showing, do you want to change the input mask? If you want to change, you can change it here. Then it is showing what placeholder character do you want to display. So what should be the character? See, it is showing some characters. What should be the character? You can select anyone, and then we can click next. Then how do you want to store the data, with the symbol or without the symbol? So we can just click next. Once you click on finish, it will come. And see, we can also create our own mask also. There are tool that once when I click on input mask, okay, let me save it first. You can see it is written there, try it yourself, or see when you click on this next, so it is written, do you want to change the input mask? So we can or you can see what placeholder. If you follow this one, see, you can give some symbols. Already there is symbols are there. You can see there are so many symbols are there. So we can try with any one of the symbols. If you just scroll it down, you can see so many symbols are there. You can use any of these symbols. So this way you can create our own mask. Next we go to caption. This caption property is used when we want to display an alternative name. If you want to have an alternative name for this particular field, so we can add a caption. Then default value, the default value is one that is displayed automatically when we add. So it is displayed automatically. Suppose if you want a default value for particular for this field, so we can add a default value, means that value will come automatically. Next we have the property required. You can see the required property. the required property basically consists of either yes or no. If it is required, you can set, if you set this property as yes, then what happen? The field should always receive a value. Always we have to give required, means this value we must give. If you want for this table that this particular value we must give, then we will set this as required, yes. We will set this field as yes, and if it is no, this means what? If you don't give any value also, it will work. Then another one, allow zero length property. Allow zero length property consists of also either yes or no. If we give this as yes, then it will allow zero length. If we give no, so it will not allow any value of zero length. Then we having the data validation. Data validation. The data validation enables us to limit the values that can be accepted in a field. That can be accepted in a field. So we have the validating numbers and validating text. So we can see there is a validation. If you want to add a validation rule, we can add a rule here. We can add any rule here in the validation rule. If you want to add a validation text, you can see in the property pane is there, validation text is there. We can add a validation text. So when we add the validation number, the most common technique is to check whether the number, we can add a validation in the validation rule, we can add any numbers. So we have to basically it is used to check whether the value falls in the certain range, whether suppose a total marks is less than this or greater than this. We can also have a validating date also, we can have a date format also, whether the year should come forward or the day should come forward, or whether it should contain any time. We can also have the validation text also. When we have the validation text, so we can add a text here. What should be the means whether it should contains like say there is option like S star, like star, whether the name should start with S or whether the name should end with any number, any text. We can also have the boolean values also. The boolean values are basically we can have like and or values. Now now is showing how can we modify a field. How can you modify a field? Now already I have, okay, let me save this. Okay, so this already I have entered some data. You can see I have entered 10 datas because you have seen already. If you see in design view, we have the student ID as it is a primary key auto number, student name as short text, total marks number, percentage number, and grade short text. Based on this I have entered some data. You can see these numbers 1 2 3 4, then student name is there, marks is there, percentage, and I have given some grade values. So already there is how many field? 1 2 3 4 5 field is there. Now we can add a new row. We can add a new field or row. Field means we can add a field here or we can add a row here also. We can delete also. We can delete a field also. We can so say for example I am adding a field here. So let me add a field here, then I will be showing how to delete. Let me add a field, say address, 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 and address. Okay, let me give as a text. Now when I go to, okay, let me save it. So I can address, okay, let me just give one data, Karimganj, next one say Badarpur, BADARPUR, Badarpur. Now suppose say this is I have shown, we can add, I have shown how can you add a how can you add a value? So I have added already I have added a field, and then I have added given some datas. Now how, suppose say I want to insert a new row or a field. So I have shown how to insert a new field. Now how to insert a new row? So just suppose I want to insert a new row in between roll number 5 and 6. So I will just click here, right click, you can see new record. When you click here, you see new record. Or another way is that we will select the row after which we want to insert the row, then we will click on the design tab. We will click on the design tab, then insert rows. We will in the design tab, in the tools group, you can see there is an option called insert rows. Insert rows is there. We can insert rows, we can also delete rows also. And I am showing you another way. So suppose I want to insert a row in between here, so I just click new record. See, new record is, so you can insert a new record here, or you can insert in between here. Now how to delete a field? So let me delete this field. So I have selected this field, and then you can see there is an option under the record. You can see it is written there delete. So if you just click this here, you will give a message, do you want to permanently delete? So you can see my this record already that field is deleted. We can also rename a field also. So how to rename a field? So if you just open it in design view and say I want to rename this grade obtained, OBTAINED. So grade obtained. So then I click on save, and then you can see here the field name is renamed. You can also we can also move a field. So how to move a field? So let me show you how to move a field. So we can just for moving a field, what we will do, we will select the field. First we select the field to be moved by clicking the field selector, then we will hold the mouse, and then at what position? So if I move it this side, you can see the field is moved. I am again showing. So I will take the grade point, the percentage here. So I just first I will select the field by clicking on the field selector, then by holding the mouse, and then just by dragging it. Suppose I want to make it this side. So when I drag it this side, so you can see it has just moved. And we can also change the field size. So how to change the field size? If you open in design view, you can see we can increase, you can change the field size also here. But as because I opened it in short text, the highest range is up to 255. So if you want to increase it, we can make it long text, and we just increase the size. The size will just increase. So next I will be showing how to create form. Now what is form? Now form creates a user interface through which we can view, enter, edit or delete data. So basically form controls are bound controls, unbound controls and calculator controls. Now what is bound controls? The bound controls is used for the source data, and the unbound is data not bound to the source data, and calculated is for which the source is an expression. Now how to create a form? So for creating a form, we will just select, we'll click on the create tab, then under the form, you can see under the form group, we have what? Form design is there. You can see a form design. So let me click on form design. See, from design has come. From here you can design your form. We can add you can add from the tables, we can add the form. This is one way. So you can, I am showing it how. When you click on this table, go to create, then form, actually enable content, I am not enabled content, table, create, form design. When you click on form design, so the when you have the form design, so basically three part come. One is the design, another is the arrange, and the format. So we'll click on the we'll just click on the existing this one, and it will be created. Another way I am showing you how can you create a form using, we can also create a form using see, this is how it has come. See, you can see here one Abdul Azim. You can see, if you just click on down, you will see all the form 1, 2, so you can see all are coming. When I am clicking on the status bar, you can see one by one it is coming. We can also create. So this is how you can see already the form is created of this table. The form is created. So okay, let me close it. You can save it. So I don't want to save it. And here we can drag one by one each cell. We can drag and bring the form. Okay, we can also color this form. You can also add a header. If you want to add a header in the form, you can also add a header to the form. See, this is how I have shown. I just clicked, you can see the table. You can just, in this form, you can just arrange it like this. We can arrange this form. Let me make it a little bit bigger. You can arrange this form because I have moved it directly. So you can arrange this one. You can take it top also. This way you can add form. Another way is there. We can also create a form with the wizard. See, one form has come like this. See, one form, table subform, and we can also create a form with the wizard. So this is very easy. We'll click on the create tab, and then you can see if you want to create within the wizard. So when you click on form, see, this has come. The form has come with the like this. It is actually it is not coming. Let me don't save it. Let me close it. Okay. So when you click on create, then we will find one option called, you can see, form wizard. So I have clicked on form wizard. Open. See, already I have student ID, student name, total marks, percent is there. So how, if you want, you can take it one by one like this, or else you can, if you want all together, you can click on this one. So all will come. Go to next. So we want with it columnar or tabular form, we will click on next and then finish. You can see our form has already come. You can see our form has already come. You can see that by clicking on the status bar, one arrow is there. You can go forward. You can also search. Suppose I want to search, say Rajesh. So already has come Rajesh. This is a search option is also there. Search button. You can also search from it. So this is how we can create a form. So now let me show how to create a query. Let me save it. You can save it. Okay. So let me show how to create a query. So actually a query, it is it is a question if you want about the data. So how many types of queries are there? We have select, make table, append, update, cross tab and delete. So how to, we can create a query in two ways. Query using design view or wizard. You can see here with using design view or wizard. So first I am showing how can you create a query using design view. So I select the table, then I click on query. Under the create tab, under the query group, we have the query design and query wizard. So I am clicking on query design. See, and then one option will come whether we want to add the table. Already my table 1 is there, so I want to add the table. See, all the field of the table has come: student ID, student name, total marks, percentage, grade obtained. Then if when I close it, then it will ask, see, first I want student ID, then I want say student name, then I want the student total marks, then I want say percentage, then I want grade obtained. Okay, so this is now my query has already been added. Now you just save it, query 1. You can see when you click on query, see, this is the query, now you can you can make some additional. If you open in the design, you can see, if you want, you can give some criteria, you can sort it. Suppose if you want to sort it ascending, descending, suppose I want to sort in descending order, so then you see the query, see it has come in the descending order. You can see it has come in the descending order, 10 first, then 9. So this is a question, this is a query is basically how we want to set a criteria. Now I am showing you, I have also shown how to save. For saving a query, you will just click on save, or a means option comes to save. So you can just save it as a query. And now I am showing how to create a query using query wizard. So just select the table, then query wizard. See, then one option will come like this. So how to, I am again showing how to create a query. So we'll click query wizard. So we'll click on create tab. Then under query groups is there. Then we have the query wizard. Then one menu, one dialog box come as new query. Then you click OK. Then see, if you want to take all, you can take one by one, or if you want to take all, you can see one by one you can take, or if you click this one will go, then you click on next. Then how we want summary or details. Suppose I want to take details, then next. Then what should be the name, table 1 query, okay, then we click on finish. Then you can see this table query has come. This is the wizard, this is the query wizard, this is the query wizard. Here also we can set some criteria also. Now I am showing the lastly how can you create a report. So I created table, I have created forms, I have created queries. Now how to create reports. So what are reports? Report is basically the printed version of a database. So basically a report can be opened in two ways: report design and report wizard. When I click on create, and you can see there are two ways: report wizard or report design. So first I am I am creating a report using report design. So report I see this, okay, this is already report has come, so we can take a printout of this report. So I am opening a report. Let me open a report. I'll click on create menu, then the report groups. I want to open the report, is the report design. I click on report design. So here you can add a header. So we can add a header, and one by one in one cell, if you want, in this cell one field, this cell one field, you can add, says for example I want the student ID, so you can see student ID has come. Have you seen from this side? Suppose I want student name here, so I click on this one, student name, so you can see student name has come. And this one, let me arrange it. Okay, this student name has come. Then I want in this third field I want the total marks, so I'll take the total marks there. So this is how we can create a report using report design. Now I am showing how can you create a report using report. How can you create a report using report wizard? So this is very report wizard, very easy. So under the create tab, under the report group, we have the report wizard. I'll click on report wizard. Here also same, if you want it one by one, or you can take all it together, then you just click on next. How we want, whether we want all, see you can see student ID. We can also take, see in the report is basically the printed form. If you want, if you want only 2-3 fields, so you can take 2-3 fields. If you want all, you can take all. So I am taking all. Next, whether you want to ascending, so you can change it the format what you want. So I am taking all. Next, whether you want columnar, tabular, justified, so I am taking columnar. Then next, and then just finish. You can see this is the printed version. This is the report. This is the printed version of the database. So this is how a report can be created using report wizard. And then we can take a printout. How to take a printout? So you can see by default print option has come. So you can see print option come. When you click on print, so we can just take a printout of the report. So and finally, best is that you saved it. So what I have already saved all my queries, my report and form. So this was your this chapter number 11. So I have discussed about design view, I have discussed about forms, how to create a form, and this is form, how to create query, how to create report. This is the report, this is one type of report. This is the report in design view. Once you finalize it, you can see it. Once you finalize it, you can see the report, and this is the report using the wizard. Hope you understand. And once the school opens, you will be doing the practical yourself in the laboratory, in the lab, so that and it will be more clear to you. And I am already telling that if you have any confusion, you can write in your your confusion or your problem, you can write it and then ask me. You can ask me if you have any problem. You can give a comment so that the problems, so that your problems I will try to my level best to solve your problems. And also if the practical based problem is there, then once the school open, I'll be clearing your problem practically on the by showing the practical on the laboratory. Hope you understand, and thank you.